Yawa kwa bi me de babu dwomdwom de yeso ye do asesa afi na do afidi ato a ebrase ye de mpensim moto a baby bia wo na ho dwumadi ne na ase nko na ye de ma se ne ne da no edin no nsan e kaba he'll text messages are bebre 1760 and that's facebook.com/multi-tv world and I see na de ma your proud sponsors ne enwumeko amoso mpese mo ne edin sa oso na mo ne edin dwuma ne mo nwumadi hu de roma mo no mo hwe yen ewo aye kokomlemle ne joy family ne nimhwe oba obo se multi-tv edan no emienu ba ko no kokko na aye billboard DCC enim ba ko nso blue also ko ha on sabitimi akan oni pedifo bedin sa so bebo de rama ama wanka so hu results ya chere results and na no pay enkomo aye bedie no edoso na minim se obenyamu brenu atie ni nyina sanse ebi be enwomasua ti so obesua de om ebi be entiteye ebi be information here ma the boy so here and ebi nso no betimi ama wani age na eno ye nsema e be abedwendwen na ye pim so aye kɔ no sene a edi kan ye ka ene ye kyerɛ mu de bia no nyame ya adom a eye March ne da toso ensia March 6th eye Ghana yedi Africa eye Independence Day no Adom concert party the Jumedi Bebrel the biggest show on television is pa yeah they bro TV so Adom concert party ene eye National Theatre and afi Adom concert party no ene come ntuma ade abom na nyame adoma National Theatre on the 6th of March Jumedi Bebaso na artist ayaton sa from na mba abaji nyina ni oboba G Adofo da Sibre Jamina ene anyumtofo atwutwura kese pa afenso no bobu kala koko tie kolak ene omo akanyina so beba sa Jumedi asibi enu ti no brane nyina enyi eni ne enkosre na Ghana ya na ye serious dodo ade na yenkoboa na yenyi eni yenfansre na yinyi nche enu ya ade anyame adoma beba so on the 6th of March ewo National Theatre bra de Adom concert party de bro or say be kikim papa so na eguso ayebo amane niema so hu yedi nkan na enkomo ba ne ebedi na ebe dwendwen ho cerebrospinal meningitis CSM bribia ba na besene ko afi bia yade eku nipa wo mema mpanifo ntimi nya ho hwe yentimi nso ano ade ntra ma di ka cho se me was secondary school na afi bia be so na se yade be ba seniors no be line up crew akakra ke se ne etie ni gangantu crew gangantu akap ya bonunzuo ma obi anu mansa no akwakoda na so several years down the line mfie bebre na abesini koniye yade da so a edi enya ema ene busum mienu pe ya yade bai ekunipa dunsia 16 ema wo kire se nipa 100 and over yade nso so no aka womo so mu biwu so mbetena se ni nyina no ejina nkoma ebedie na no pe ntie ne yebekọ esremu mantamu eyo mantifia pue na to eni akoye se ehfa poti na yade aka womo hwanom na ahwe womo nkwa age group ben hwanom na womo stand risk na yesremfo na womo wo mantifia potemo pe ene yade betimi aka womo ana ye wase hanso no ne betimi yade aboa eni nkoma a ebrepam yensa company force a ensem no ho a yebedi nkomo so ena yedi kan yaka kire no aye hyase na so yebe hyase ni ato aso ye multi TV de yeguso a yebo ehomodin se na ebe ya ye democratic credentials Ghana ya fa ba bisa bre no yebetimi abo ehomodin ama sa dwumede nti yebe se confusion ana se political insource yekoso no yebetimi adi hu dwuma ne yebisa se ebe ne den masansem netimi asi na ansa na no a mene mpanifo a ya to nsafre omo be hyase no maame kwa homa so Dr. Awona Williams Dr. Penny ewo Sremu Mantem Mantifi epoe Mantem na yenkobisa ne se CSM sa cerebrospinal meningitis ya aba no so ampa se aba na enokre se enipa 16 ena ewuo na de na omo mpanifo no womo de afa ho. Dr. Awona Williams, thank you very much for joining us on Multi TV and good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, and you, sir?
We are also doing very great and very fantastic. We thank you very much for joining us. Now tell us, how true is a report that CSM or cerebrospinal meningitis has been cited in the Upper East region and has resulted in the loss of 16 lives?
Unfortunately, that is the truth. We have an outbreak of CSM in the Upper East region, and from January 1st till today, we have recorded 102 cases, out of which 16 deaths have occurred. But let me be quick to say that this is concentrated in 3 of our 9 districts in the region, namely Bulsa District, Kasna-Nakana District, and Kasna-Nakana West District. These 3 districts have recorded a total of 14 deaths out of the 16 deaths. And so we have declared an outbreak in these 3 districts. And therefore, doing all we can, putting in all the measures to avert any more deaths as a result of the CSM.
Doc, would you be kind enough to tell us what is it about this disease? How does it occur? What really are the symptoms so that people will come to realization that, well, if it starts surfacing down here, we'll be on our, we will not be alarmed. People will be on alert.
Yeah, this is occurs with, which is CSM basically is a bacterial infection which manifests itself with severe headache. People will start complaining of headache. They will complain of neck pains. Sometimes they complain of stiff neck. They complain of general bodily pains. It occurs sometimes with vomiting. Sometimes it comes with diarrhea. It presents just like what we call normally fever. People will say maybe even malaria. And people who get this, as soon as you have any signs and symptoms of this nature, you must report at the health facility. Unfortunately, when people get headache and neck pains, they go to the chemical shop to buy paracetamol or whatever it is, as if it's an ordinary fever. This is the season in our part of the region that we have meningitis or CSM, so we expect that people who have this condition must report early to the facilities and for treatment.
But some people are really alarmed as to why this particular disease seems to be particularly located in the upper regions of this country and in the northern Ghana. Is there any particular reason why it seems to be localized in those areas?
Well, this particular disease is Upper East, Upper West, Northern region, part of Burkina, Mali. This is the Sahel region, and it's referred to as what we call the meningitis belt, the area, the environment within which this bacteria, this disease thrive. And so we call it seasonal meningitis because it's just the area, the meningitis belt, that we have this disease, because this is where the sun is, the heat is on, it's dusty this type of the year, and we don't see that in the south.
Is it a case that we can't do anything because it's a CSM, prone zone?
Exactly. You hit the nail on it, right? It's a CSM zone. That's what we call the meningitis belt. Belt is a CSM zone. And every year we know that between November and May is the peak for CSM outbreaks. And we start doing our health education. We start getting logistics so that we can, if the cases occur, we can treat them. Let me be quick to say that the deaths that are occurring is mainly because people are not reporting early in our facilities. And we are doing a lot to let the population know that when this is between November and May is where we have our outbreaks, because it's the peak of the heat. And when they get these signs, they should report it to the facilities.
But Dr. Awena Williams, over the years, I remember as far back as the 90s, when we were in secondary school, and I schooled in Techima, which is quite close to the northern zone. We were made to drink a lot of water at night so as to prevent ourselves being infected. Is that a corrective measure?
Exactly. The heat is on, so people should drink a lot of water. a lot of water itself does not prevent CSM, but then it actually soothes the person. It's so dry here. If you come here right now, it's so dry, it's so hot, it's so dusty, it's so uncomfortable. There's a lot of dehydration going on. When people drink a lot of water, it helps, yes.
Apart from that, what else must one do to prevent him or herself from getting infected?
We also think that because of the heat and the environment, people should avoid overcrowding. If you come here, you will see that you have very small houses, 5, 6, 7, 8 people sleep in a room. Ventilation is poor, so and people cough within the room, and the air circulates around. We want people to sleep freely, to sleep outside the homes at this time because it's so hot. And we also want to avoid a lot of social gatherings in terms of funerals and other things, and that will also help a lot.
Is there any assurance that beyond the 16, we are not going to record any other death?
We are really doing a lot to make sure that nobody dies, further from CSM. We have put in a lot of measures. Our staff are on the field. We are doing a lot of health education. We are calling on traditional leaders and, social partners to join the campaign to educate people. And we have enough vaccines. We have mapped out these areas, and we are vaccinating the population. And for those who have any of the signs, the first signs and symptoms, they must be encouraged to report at the health facility and avoid going anywhere else for treatment or, taking self-medication.
So for those of us who are down south here, for now we can say we are safe from CSM. Is that it?
You do not have any problem. Enjoy the niceties of Accra and drink a lot of water and continue the hard work we are doing.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Awono Williams, for your time here on Multi TV, and we're grateful.
Thank you very much, sir.
Dr. Awono Williams, Upper East Regional Health Director, Ghana Health Service, and I need in common. Yadia eba so kon na so wachiri bremum spinal meningitis so mu no wa yiri say time no watwumu say tire no esha sese ye oya na ohwinimu prunsuo no ntumi ka fa kwa ya sabia ene echiwa na chise wo kura no enti yesrem wo am wo srem omantifia pue ni ato ni srem mantem ni yesrem wo se nyamo be ya ne se ba bia nipa bibire ahia ho no hyew be ba mpacho menko ho yase ne party ni ne man monte so sabri na yakopon mo yina ho ban enti enu yensem a yetimi etu ho anamom sene na meka wo no enkomo a oya pronso biem so no niema political insurgency na asha se rise o memo a politics ye be den na swati ye de kakra be wo bedwam ha no ye be enu yensem a ebedi ho komo so na Progressive People's Party Dr. Pakwati Nyame Adom a ochina na omukọ Congress se na hoboabo anete nipa dodo se na ekọ na offices ahen ene ye to aba e de ama omu enkoma ebedie afensu no dwumako bi a efre no Center for Public Interest Law akọ file lawsuit Supreme Court say $3 billion Chinese loan aban ne nsa akwose ase a ne amete kra se nra first tranche kra no parliament edi omunsa ase no Supreme Court enka se null and void se emfa mra kwan mu edi asemini yebedi sa asemi nkomo na afensu so no nkrata bi a abeto dwa se Dr. Kwabnadufo na susu ampa se nye ekoso na sika tu ma owura Fred Agwasi Woyome wati ne ho agina ba bi se wono de ono nko ane osorabofo na niema na ekoso renew onim nyina no nkrata piedwa ye de sa nkomudie de bebre o text messages 1760 Facebook or facebook.com/multitv world and ana penifo aton sa frɛ wo mo ne wodi ka atena se a ye no be hye nkomudie na se owura o say ya na Kofi say ameya ye bone sa na ye de san se de masafo din de sa na ye bone owura Kofi sa ameya kanem na shibidwani de ma esojama ne on egina MPP fo anemu ewo abaton person so press akunwa ne sabetimi asan ka biom okay ofie afishapa
ofie ni fie
boko de
Nyame Adom na ho te
Nyame Adom ya ho ye papa fie boko Weekend is all beko.
Weekend in there. Yeah, well, a year be brain. Our programs been teaching about
say Easter and so, but say yeah, Easter pa no.
That was that time the Jacket Beach what there. Easter way say wa ma Jacket Ahmed Masama Jacket Beach. As a member.
So beach no yeah ho e da pa. Ma ho da.
Any na wo.
Enye me krom na me ma ho da, dem me ma beach wo.
Oh, beach what there. Em say Easter na. Oh.
Yeah na wo so.
This year is me anga some more special meeting.
Oh, Badwam crab beba.
Okay.
Ye nyina beba ni aba behwe sania. Edumasafo ne esojamanfo edi Easter. Yo. But before yeah, Badwam for ya tena sin there. Na ye hear nim say wura Peter Boama otukuno ba be kan sa na ya share enkomo die na. So text messages 1760. Ye be pem so akosi say brepa mu ye de enkomo die nyina beba ne we. Obani ma mention say feel so na sa politics of insult here umana asatiko na samba tiko na samba and your reference point now ni siwo asempe fam say bia wate ho nsem men am so ma MPP for ya tinu hu krasa here so nya de omesa ko bio sa tem didia amanyofo ya mudi mu ho no aden eno no na kire say wona wano ya chen obi ana
Kaba mami chia oma hwe yen no na oma mutie yen ana men senchia ye kromofo so jamanfo nyina nkanka jakiti edumasa akwamu enumbuso wo nyina ye fa omka politics of insult problem awo ye amanyosem no both Afanami and MPP NDC. Near we here say no ye amembo na ye dia share President Mills and then a pam for so mumu mine for 4 years. Na obetino na nado oye MPP flag bearer. Ono na womo de na si Badwam. And ye supano. Atem didi se nanado oye se okra je se nanado yenso enyo no obu oman ono de afi na opre tumi no so babeye nanso ubeko asempa ena ne se ye didi papa ya tem sa na so kaba o papa o eja na so bi ya o papa sa na se didi na tem sa won so be obe reply na ye wo na President Mills abeka say politics of insult no ompe now so NDC for communication for na omoba wombe ye wombe kasa ma Professor Mills no mo omo didi obi atem na nema bebre enti na Adom so na mana ono so the communication once one team ntra wo say wo monye enti politics of insult ne die enye wo kwan bia so it must be condemned from both sides. And you know, I personally do not like it. I hate it. But it do be ultimately the temperature and the bathroom. Look, the way Omayan and Nado now, what or no, you know, I'm just say, ultimately, or mature, but it's tough for no into Kwani Yadoso. And no man yentimi inform me in fact, sa kwana ye do man e fa so yen concentrate enhwe ne be ya baby ensuo ni a wo nipa ye nuan mu nya ensuo no mo no ye be ma wo ensuo anom baby a wo mo ka kwan enye a won nante a free kurasians na wo mabakurum abedi dwa na se akọ hospital no ye momode nya ma wo na ye nyina ye mfa adwuma ne wo de ahye hensa no ye focus on adwuma ne wo de ahye hensa no na ye nya isa propaganda ne radio so na TV so ayaya no ana so media for no so journalist for no so
yes ye kan
mo so mo ka ho bi because mo pe omo a wo ba Oba be hey won what team na one ton you know na fi o dey ayes say ne ye nkwara na ekọ school no ukọ fa anwe ade go so me san hwehwe so na we abo na de ama we na abo e je say mo nkontakwa e wo hia mo na nka mo be direct conversation no on issues say de we say na we ka won so ka wo de afi de obe won so issue na wo ka no topic na de aba no ni ya deviate free sa topic no ho ni ye de ya na bem kaba me no ya adwene politics of insult in there e mo ayen yo asoman entimo miem fan to baby ni yen kọ ni ma be boa yen e be build yen society no ni ma be ma yen ma ibenya ntete ye pa se bio mpa duasa kaba fie ufie mu fie a unye ayeyaye ya nkoso sa wo fie na mpanimfo a yen gwara no ehwe yen ana wotie yen radio so ni ebe didi yen ho atem sa de memom de emwa yen entimo miemfa no nto ntwen ni yen nyina ye be trans ya na wen nyina so ekoso most of the people obeye ye ne be wi a wo pie pepepe no mosre na ya
no ni ade a na ha me se ade na ya amanfo ya na eti amanfo ya omohwe no ye mpese ye be ka no krache o san se enisuo no de se ba TV so ana de ya mo betena na aso obi aso ne onkomene so mo na mo kwa no tale we de airport na ya na politician dey tina ya mo yesa
me mo de me hwe se to impress one masters political masters no into oba na so obetiente mo ya na kire se political masters no so age atomo se we dey no do ko bi okokasa ma me pa. But I don't think say political masters are now woman penning for no. They should be encouraging this. What's in America no? Because anka nipa no timi ni nipa ne ye namfo and it happens to parliament all the time. Chef law debate no now call echire now ko hwe ne ekoso wo cafeteria ho na asefem. Enti Ghana politicians mumienya sa hypocrisy ne no na yen focus na yen hwese o man na what they share say say kura de politicians no kura man for in respect na what the ma politicians no fem
so respect na ba for mo mami ko Center for Democratic Development mami yo brekakra na yen ko CD dia akachi mu ora Abraham Pamensa programs officer wo ACD de adwuma mo ye ni nkomo akra im sanse sa ne ma ekoso yi wo mo amudi o mani di amanyo eku ane wo mdwumadi ensam no so mo hu no efa opani ye mo ache na no pay de ba multi TV bedwam mdwumadi so
meni amedwum so me chia me panelists ni na honorable mu nyina me chia wo mo
yo ye da se papa ora brampa nyame adoma December bemben ya na mo amudi mani di amanyo sem akire no afi mu say na niemate as far as elections concerned
yo minya said ye kan na meni makasa wo kasafidie so bebre no said ye nkrofo bebre so aka no me say afi mu no said ye ja 28 hono ye nya ne ye nti atoa so abetri pa normally senka wo hwe elections tensions ye research ni findings in actually say direct correlation with Electoral Commission's public activities. But time and Electoral Commission share public activities as in registration of candidates and as animano time attention back country until the more Electoral Commission engage with the public, the more you electoral tensions. But only right after 2 a friend is in front of EC in some crazy CC hono and no actually who seizure of property who never be braino at Fomusama new dimension in our public discourse media fronts, accusations, tensions, conflicts, arrests in several previous and we crack a setia or Mampany Pemu Emma police assembly never be dasa anti I feel who hoka cra mean tunko fakuma but she and statistics. Previous reports like I said, tension not starting term do after ya sia no ntemo te tuomu saa ebetumi ha adwene pa
sa efi 2008 about one person call na as a country yantimi put yourself together na yen dealing with the issues na atoma besi sa bre no na say 2012 nya de ebetumi aye ho hwie o tension na beba
yini ya medasi bebre say ye hwe elections tensions conflict and violence abribia no yentimi yi no nko ensin chance ye delay with it because who can fear with me bebre becho say election conflict and violence escalation of existing acrimonies into election and for capitalize on that they achieve existing problems. So bet me two election conflict I say and I say bet my young BB I just say institutions your political parties yen na CSOs media yen kaboom na ya famudie so ya sha wo friend is saying 209 urban and sensem bebre see or 28 elections sensem bebre see how have they been resolved? The security agencies, warning signals they no must send them here who say society will repeat here, saying a year way into Yebesia no say. Young political parties, it me who say, or your regulations debris, discipline courts debris. So for NDC regulations, your discipline committees from even the district are very well structured. Over MPP are the same thing. Over CPP are the same thing. How are they being enforced? Enforcement. The party ni idea cassette a friend is saying MPP ni cassette President Mills again as a party. Oh yeah. The absence of public condemnation of some of these things, I'm trying to against a tacitly endorsement of the actions of the supporters. It is one entity. And the young media houses, say your host, young producer, young BB, I didn't talk about a day, a day punishment near you continue. Did I make a mess? I did have to say, pension radio station, pano. Utim say a hard journalist, a host, and as a producer, and an editor, you ever put on off air. Now what can be a microphone say, oh yeah, you are enforcing the code and the ethics, Me a bought jingle of that radio station, that TV station, nothing. I just say, money I just attention about them. We CSOs, you can be. And to me, all stakeholders are fair. And then they have attention here, cost free, and the form. Now you could talk green, that should be. Not say new technology ever use. And to me, come again saying at this time here everybody already your problem because public education on the technology has not started. Political parties, part of our responsibility is to educate. And then media tassels, radio stations, media houses, and yet me topical issues be apart from raising issues about on personality attacks. Then concentrating on contributing to the Electoral Commission's effort. Many are in our community a setup.
2012 ebe
well, so the be optimistic. We have to put our hands together. Say and panel be worried. Say contributors be worried. And say Sabre you change. Oh, your media fronts, your political fronts, all everybody security. And so we are late. And so we enforce rules. They can say so. Electoral Commission make show say with a criminal offense. And it doesn't bother on my mandate. It means they declare me a resource. But don't forget. Some of these things here, you border on criminal or boundaries, and no one affects the turnout of results in certain polling stations. Say you call farmer to men, and I said you call farm, you call bomber, and Marwane Mofrabe Shroom, just when the turnout of that very polling station be affected. Yes, the Electoral Commission will treat that as a criminal offense. It doesn't affect his declaration of the results. Into me and Lucy, next time, then because that's also say yes, definitely doesn't affect the results, so we shall do it. And here in the security agencies, we have to change our sense and strategy of deployment of security agencies, services to the police station. All these things will have to be worked out. So
I don't pay what can I say. More penny FNC and I say, and I had them also in your mumbre or Bedroom Jumedia.
Me da se be bremina.
Ora Bram Permansa programs officer ewo CDD Center for Democratic Development. And is obo hu a ebe image na nyina so. Opani na o kasa na mu ansa na na yema Peter Boamo tukura kwa. Peter kwa. Yeah. Usually you are late. Ade.
Artists
said your kind of
unusual for no.
But what happened?
Which
should be applied.
Unusual happened.
Enti me momu de me ka say do baby a yen check it members a wo moko a wo kudi dia tem a e di sa when we ba no wo ko back am mo omo ma wo mo e me represent party no ana say leader no e wo media houses so na say media no so ye wo rules wo ye ma license ye hu se ne media and as a radio station and as a TV station wo hwe se crofo kasa de yi no I was see more modern na owners and as a producers no it me step in no mo stop then some I see what I SMP ne ye ntia ye nya ne se me nu otoku no ono na e wo ho ne MPP ne no kra Hobson ekoye na because of that you know and they say into no not way into a politics of insults na wo ye yanka won dey yi ba no wonya ye otoku no tini yiso no we na do sa ni na ko chia on occasions bia maka chene se menua wo ye ekuma we need free too much na nado timi your papa what you say na nema na nado aye ama oman say utini kasa just because say o support NDC now support Professor Mills and how kind this one fine but any do be papa attempts any di one kata obi obetima your papa attempts oh say bibi kura na opeso oka argument bi na opeso here fa kwa bi so na ye na we no de obi aba beto na o ma ya no saa me momu de eno emo aye nyina enti mum ye nya saa politics of insult no na ye nka issues na ye be ya economy ye betimi a build it na ye be ya meningitis ye aba upper west and upper region we ye be bo modern ye be brenase na ye be ya ye betimi sisi ye betua teacher for eka na ye be ya elections eba be koi ye be hihye ne mapi na Ghana for pedo no wo mayi no without any intimidation wo hwe ane in the papers you see police promotions ya bypass ebi wo mo due for promotion any other come obi say wanye amanya kuo na wo so no ne bidding amano a kaba na say ye yiwesi nti obi anzo person okonanim nti answer abeko onim na say oye bibia ebe ma ye be hu say yes wo de wo na wo gina wo fem ma wo enye say bi mpo a adwuma no kwa obetimi aye
well simple Peter so bo no bi aba and then maka crusading guy wey hu anu say asem ne sie na nya wan kasa ho na efa na bobi ni hoping but was cited as somebody occasionally you know o super MPP for penny for you are no
me say me nyame na me topic no topic I would to dwa no politics of insult but said the honorable in his usual style and in a deliberate attempt to smear me because they can't stand the superior argument of the NDC no I would want to answer that one me Peter Boamo tokuno and I say NDC communicated be any honuma opese o insult na Nekufuado and I say obedidi na Nekufuado atem and I say o dream po say obedidi na Nekufuado atem we know say insulting na Nekufuado will not win us votes. It is unnecessary for anybody to go and say to nurse me bedidi na Nekufuado atem emfaso be na obenya wo unya emfaso bia wo but the MPP Yankophobia, they can't stand superior argument.
Superior argument
in the sense